A very good morning, children. This is Sonia Verma, your SST teacher from Springfields Public School. I hope you are doing fine and doing reading of the chapter also. Let us continue with the chapter State Government of Civics. That day we had started Council of Ministers, how the Chief Minister he chooses different ministers from amongst the MLAs of his own party. So let us continue with the topic on page number 34, Council of Ministers. The total number of ministers, including the chief minister, cannot be more than 15% of the total strength of the legislative assembly. It means, children, that if the total number of MLAs in the legislative assembly is 100, then the number of ministers cannot be more than 15, including the chief minister himself. So there are three categories of ministers at the state level. As you can see in this picture, the most important ministers are the cabinet ministers. They make all the important decisions and they are assisted by the ministers of state and deputy ministers. So the cabinet minister, they hold the overall charge of one or more portfolios and they are assisted by the ministers of state or deputy ministers. So in this way you come to know that the Council of Ministers is the body which includes all these different ministers. The cabinet ministers are those who make all the important decisions. So now the Council of Ministers, including the Chief Minister, is collectively responsible to the Legislative Assembly. They are collectively responsible. Collective responsibility means that whatever decision is taken by the Cabinet, the Council of Ministers, all the ministers, they have to follow those decisions. If they don't agree with any decision, they can resign. If a vote of no confidence is passed, then the entire ministry has to resign. All the ministers, they have to give their resignation. So children, in this picture you can see which topics we have covered till now in this chapter. First we had done the state legislature, who was responsible for making the laws, the legislative function of the state government. Then next we had seen the executive, the governor, chief minister and council of ministers. They form the executive, people who put those laws into practice. Now we are going to see that who are the people who execute, who are the officers who execute the decisions of the ministers, the decisions of the executive. So those officers, those people are the civil servants. They are the ones, they are the officers who execute the decisions of the ministers, and they are responsible for running the administration at the state level. Just like we have the IAS officers, IPS officers at the center, they are also appointed at the state level. So the state's Public Service Commission selects some officials, and those officials, they are chief secretary who heads the civil service in a state. Then comes the secretary, then the deputy secretaries, under secretaries, directors, deputy directors who assist them. Then at the divisional level we have the divisional commissioners. Then at the district level we have the district magistrates. Now let us move on to another important official of the state, who is known as the Advocate General. So each state has an official who is known as the Advocate General, and his job is to give advice to the executive to the governor, to the chief minister, to the council of ministers. He advises them on legal matters and performs legal functions which are assigned to them by the governor. So, the Advocate General is appointed by the governor and he holds office during the pleasure of the governor, which means that the governor can remove him at any time. So, what is his qualification? That person should be qualified to be a high court judge if they want to become the Advocate General. The Advocate General can take part in the proceedings of the state legislature, but he does not have the right to vote. So, in this way, I had given you the details about the Advocate General. So, this chapter is complete, children. You will take a reading of the chapter. Only one question was left. That question I have sent you today. You will write down that question. This chapter is complete. Thank you. Have a nice day.